Aloha, my friends. I've never done a Facebook post this way, so I thought I'd give it a try. I just returned from the War Memorial Gym here in Maui, which is part of Baldwin High School. It's being used as a shelter now for those who've lost their homes in Lahaina. I was down there as a volunteer. This is the first day that I've volunteered down there, so I thought I'd share a few perspectives. I don't have any notes. I just think I'll walk through it. The area around the site there is now protected by Hawaii National Guard, and you can only get in there if you have reason to be there. And all the guardsmen look so young to me. I just was struck about how young our soldiers are. Sometimes the military is not the most popular here in Hawaii, but I really enjoyed a few conversations with the young soldiers, the National Guardsmen, guarding the grounds there. When you walk in, there's tents everywhere, all their organizations, Red Cross, FEMA, medical assistance, on and on. There's a tent there for volunteers where you go sign in, and then you get a little name tag. There's mine on a piece of tape, and that allows you to actually be there and to go in and do what you're going to do. As a volunteer, you don't necessarily know what you're going to do when you get there, which I did not know. I was there at 6 in the morning, and they said, okay, you're going to go to the kitchen. I thought, oh boy, I'm fairly dangerous in the kitchen. But I went where they said it actually was not a kitchen. It was just tables and tables where they are putting out food. And the breakfast was being prepared, I believe, at the University of Hawaii. Various volunteers there, people donated food, and they were making breakfast for all the people there. But in the couple hours before breakfast was served, there's a lot of other food there. So there was a lot of things. I ended up working where the drinks were. There was a whole number of large coolers, and our job was to keep them filled with ice and to keep them filled with drinks, and to show people where the various drinks were. There was a number of drinks available for the people other than water, and so we were there to see people that got the drinks they wanted. I guess most of my life I've had my emotions in check, but actually, when I walked in and saw these people for the first time, other than pictures or on TV, it just tears flowed. Yeah, it's not the same. When you're there in person, it's not the same. These people, most of them have lost everything, came there with clothes on their back, and that's all they had. And maybe they had lost family members. But anyway, it was very encouraging. The way it works there, now this was my first time, so I'm not an expert. We had a good amount of volunteers, certainly enough, maybe even more than was needed, but certainly enough. And these are all local people, all walks of life. And I'm prior military. I'm sort of used to a hierarchy. You have a boss, and that boss has a boss. And I suppose there were people there in charge, but it's more of a cooperative. Everybody is there. Uh, you may have a job, but when you see something that needs to be done, you just go do it. And everybody's working with a spirit of peace and cooperation. And it's really beautiful to see. Um, the local people there are extremely proud of that. They're the ones who set this up. The Red Cross is there now, and they have their role, and their volunteers are there just like the rest of us. They're volunteering. But the Red Cross wasn't there at the start of this, and this whole shelter was set up by local people who just took it moment by moment. And most all the donations there, at least so far as I can tell, does not come from the government. It comes from local donations or donations sent from around the world or from the mainland, coming in on planes and ships. And but there's a great sense of pride there that this has been a local operation, and that local people are there assisting local people. There seems to be a great deal of pride about that. I think everybody has their roles. I'm certainly not going to bang on the Red Cross. Talk to some of their volunteers. They were there just like me, just trying to do what they can do. Sometimes as a volunteer, you're not exactly sure what you should do, but if you see something that needs to be done, you just do it, or talk to somebody and see if you can do that. As far as what's needed, it's hard to say. There was a plentiful amount of food. In fact, there's a lot of food that was left over after breakfast was served, and it was a hearty breakfast. So certainly food is something that goes quickly and it's needed throughout the day and the next day and the next day, but at least for what I saw, there was a plentiful amount of food. I don't think they need any clothes anymore. There is a whiteboard out front that had what the current needs are of this shelter, but I was going to take a picture of it, but somebody talked to me and said, well, that's not really current. So if you want to know what the needs are, I really can't tell you. But from what I could see, not food and not clothes. When I walked into the gym there, it did look fairly full, but what I found out soon was that actually half the people have gone already. Well, I don't know if it's exactly half, but a lot of people have already been placed, mostly in hotels, is what I've been told. And I was given some details about that, but I don't want to put out anything that's wrong. But the gym, even though it looked fairly crowded to me, apparently that is nothing like it was in previous days when it was even more crowded. I was very touched by how thankful people are, how cooperative everybody was. If there's problems there, I certainly didn't see it. A lot of the people, when we showed them where the drinks are, we handed them drinks, were very thankful. Thank you for being here. And that was all very touching. So some of the people that I volunteered with today have been down there every day, and this is only my first day, so I feel very humble in that there's a lot of credit due to a lot of people, and I was just there for a short time this morning. So yeah, that's something I've never experienced before. Obviously, you can see very touched by the whole thing. And I can't say in all the sadness, and there's great sadness, there's also a lot of beauty there in all the people helping out in various ways. And just before I left, one one thing people were asking for drinks was Gatorade and sodas, and we were out of those. And so I said to the guy who seemed to be running this area, I said, well, I'm on my way home, but there's a Safeway right across the street. I'll go get a few Gatorades and a few sodas and bring them back. It won't last long, but at least it's something. And then another guy said, oh, well, my family has already donated money. They gave it to me on a Venmo or something. I don't know what it is. And he said, I'll go with you, and my family or my friends have already given me money to buy stuff. So the two of us went over to Safeway and bought a few cases of Gatorade and a few cases of Pepsi. And I'm sure it won't last when they have lunch. I'm sure it'll be gone in an hour, but that was something. So I guess my message to everybody is, if you have some way to help out with this, big or small, do what you can. And it will be very much appreciated. So, yeah, my wife's not home, but she told me when I get home to make sure I shower and change clothes. And so that's what I'm going to do. But love to you all, and aloha from Maui, and God bless you.